Time to upholster. So we are, after the dry fit and making sure everything fit perfectly, we had to take everything apart again, which was kind of heartbreaking, truthfully, because you're kind of living with it already with the wood. But it's so important to make sure everything fits before you start upholstering. So here we are taking off the boxes, the batteries, unwiring everything, and here we are at night with everything inside. So this day we did do the ceilings and upholstered the bottoms. Got everything out for the dry fit. We still gotta upholster that piece, but we got all the metal pieces and the blobs upholstered. Now we're gonna put back in the ceilings, which we're very excited about, and start covering up some of these wires and get them back. So we upholstered the bottom, so we'll be able to get that stuff and wire it in that front. And then tomorrow we're going to tackle the big ones. That's the plan. Let's do some time lapse on this. And we are putting back in the ceilings, but we had to put a couple extra riv nuts in the ceiling. And so we upholstered the blobs, but we ended up taking off those blobs because it didn't look that good. And we thought black might be a better contrast. The wiring's there, so we're just putting the things up and poking the puck lights in, the wiring for it. And we still, at this point, we didn't do that last back little bay, but we ended up finding a good piece. I don't think I recorded that piece. It's important to upholster their channels on the top so it doesn't have any vibration. It helps cover up the imperfections of the lines. Here we are at the bottom behind we didn't plan on upholstering all this, but we ended up doing it because it was just easier to upholster it than to not, or partially upholster it. So we did that. Upholstering is pretty easy. You just have to take your time. It's helpful if you have two people. This is the process. And we learned everything from upholstering through ABC Rig. All right, video update. We got the newly sealed ceilings in. Looks amazing. We got the bottom upholstered. We put the kill switch in, which I added. I didn't want to drill another hole until we're upholstering. So there's a on off for the battery charging. 120's wired. We checked it, everything works good. Our second 120 is wired right here. This is the Landau, or what color is this? Or what kind of material? Sun, like, I'm talking to you.
I know, I can't remember.
Okay,
I can't
we don't remember. Anyway.
Sun something. Sunbrella.
So tomorrow we're going to probably start with that window, get that upholstered. This is just the filler in between. Actually, the cassette toilet's going to go here, so you won't even really see that. But just in case, we upholstered it. Then you do that strip, so if there's a gap in between these two panels, that you'll see the material. We've got the boxes in. Everything is wired under here. So the Gold Zero 4000 is here. That we cut the face open to also let some air in. So there's a little extra gap right here and on this side for a little airflow. But so you can still access, turn it on here, and then everything's wired in back. And then the Sure Power, there's Sure Power going out the back that way. We did end up upholstering inside. We just thought it'd be easier than just upholstering around the corners. Everything went pretty smoothly. The DC is wired in there. So we got the DC, it's a little tighter than I wanted it, but just because everything's plugged in right now. So the AC is wired up in the junction box. Probably find a way to do something with these cables because they're super long and everything's really close. This is the charging from the alternator. This one is going out. This is the out. This is the Sure Power. This is the out to the 12 12 volts going through here, and then it's going to go up to a switch box, which you've all seen. And then we put some insulation here now that we know there's going to be a little bit more room in here. This is the down lighting we're going to have for the bump outs. This is the reading lights wired, and everything else is wired. The fan, we still got to do the ring that goes here, and we got to figure out this piece back here, and that is it. And then we'll probably still end up upholstering the back pillar with a new color. So that's where we're at. Van ceiling looks amazing. The blobs I'm not in love with. We'll figure it out. That's it. So we ran out of 3M spray, and here we are. We had this other glue that we bought originally, and it was too difficult to spray on, so we went back to the 3M spray, and we ran out, so we started brushing this on because it's better than actually using a spray gun. This is my wife doing the glue painting, and then you have to let sit pretty long because the foam doesn't breathe as well as material. So this is the setup process that we did. So we ended up short on this one piece of material, so we had to buy, I don't know how many yards. I think you have to buy like 6 yards to do this thing. So keep your scraps, it's really important. All right. These are, as you can see on the back, the wooden trim ring I made. These are 1 by 3.5, which I ripped down to 3. And then this is the Baltic birch plywood, 16th, and I've got these 2x1s for the frame here. So simple frame. This is the back piece. So this is where the window. This is where the window is going to go. Pretty simple frame. I'm going to put a little L bracket here to a little bit more rigidity, but so this is also the bottom piece with the 2x1, and there you can see how it's kind of constructed. So after this is where the window is going to go. Just going to place this down. Here is our newly upholstered piece here. And see how this is square, the boxes, how they kind of gonna disappear once you get it in. So the frame does have a little bit of flex in it. I'll get that corner in, and then I'll be able to torque corners a little bit. But I already dry fitted, everything fits good, and see how it goes. So right here, I'm just measuring to get the screws symmetrical. Just for visually, it looks a little better. I did misspeak about the top piece. It wasn't 16th inches. It's all 1/4 inch Baltic birch that I used throughout the thin plywood. And the other plywood I used for the cabinets and stuff, I think was 3/4 inch. I'm just making holes, and since the box is lower, it was difficult to find the right place to make sure it's perfect. All right, we just finished upholstering the first upper panel, because we did the 4 lower panels, actually including the door. We put insulation on where we didn't, and this is the first window panel, upper panel, because we ran out of material for the rear ones. So we really wanted to do the back rear bump out one so we could get all the wiring done, but we ran out of material, but we had enough for this panel. So we're gonna do a time lapse, so I'm putting this one in. So keep in mind, once you upholster, you have to leave a little bit of gap because it gets tighter, for sure, because the material. There are some tricks by putting the edges together and then bolting the top. Helps have 2 people. Besides that, everything was pretty straightforward. Just goes because you dry fitted everything beforehand. All right, here we go. The first wall bump in is in. I'm gonna have to say it's pretty satisfying. So this wall kit, there's so many optical illusions with the cut in the wall, but everything is square, but the window is not really square. See, it's square here, and then when you look from this side, it's an optical illusion where it's kind of not square if you're looking straight on. Anyway, so obviously you can still see part of this, which is, could have brought the bump ins a little bit farther, but it was super hard to do. I gotta tighten these up. I added like a little pocket here for any kind of like, I don't know, not that you're gonna put a drink in there, but you could fit that in there. Probably for a phone or something when you're charging with the USB port, you just throw it up here, just let it charge, or you know, something that you have. Just made a shelf, and then with the shelf, I gonna put like a little L bracket to make it a little stiffer right here, because there's no real backing on this because of the room from the window, and there's the wall curves. Man, it's crazy building a van. Anyway, put a splash of orange because these backsplashes are going to be orange, so I think it's going to look really cool. Everything turned out good. The insulation, the Landau kind of made that bump a little bit bigger, but everything else is pretty awesome. Pretty happy. This week we're going to tackle these two. That's what we have left. We ran out of the material and glue, so always order a bunch of extra. Here are the frames for the other bump ins that I call them. Those are the puck light holes. Those are the frames, so you get the look at the 1/4 inch, the 1x2s, the 1/4 inch, and the 1x3.5s, I guess, on the sides for a little bit more rigidity to hold most of the weight, and then the top and bottom are just kind of there. Trying to keep everything as light as possible, and we're gonna upholster these today and get on with everything. I just want to show a big piece of upholstering the process. You're spraying. We did the Landau the day before, and here we are just going around and doing everything and upholstering, and here's what it looks like. ABC Rig has some awesome videos on doing this. And then I would say do the smallest panel first to get used to it, and then go from there, because you're going to get a lot of practice, or do something that you could screw up on and no one's going to see. And then head on to the big panels that are more visible to everyone. We put some verses on the back of one of our panels. Here we go. So this day we worked from something like 8:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night just to get this one panel in, and the next day we're tackling the next panel and the next part of the van. Right, here it is. This is it, guys. So I don't have the bed planks in, I don't have the sleeping cushions on, but let's try to step back. Get a nice wide angle with this thing. Finish the bump in soffit things here. We got the dimmable lighting all dialed in. We got the reading lights in, so they're on, but then they have USB underneath here, so you could charge your phone, put your phone here. That, they have their own switches. What else? Just got to finish that back piece back there, one piece of wood, probably do this weekend. Some trim around there. And that is most of it, what we're doing. So we painted trim inside, plasti dipped inside, so you don't see the van color anymore. And I'll have to say, it looks pretty legit. This was bare metal and I couldn't figure out, so I just made like a little L piece of wood and then upholstered it, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. Also upholstered a strip here just to be on this framing. And all along here, as you can see, Plasti dipped everything, so it's black, matte black. We still have a gap here that we're looking to fill. So I have a piece of foam I'm going to put behind here, and then we'll probably wrap that. I think that is the update for now. Till next time.